This is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use the repeater system before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now.
Hey, Ernest, Jack here, K0VH. I want to go ahead and count me as a check-in here. And thanks to our good buddy Stan out in Bogo, T2, Mississippi. New repeater on out there. I'll be getting more particulars on it, but a Wires X repeater out in kind of south central Mississippi with K5 Juliet November Tango. Might hear him check in tonight, I hope, but we'll see. Anyway, new repeater in addition to Estes Park and the Akron repeaters back online there, Bernice. So just a heads up there, and I'll go ahead and check in and be monitoring the net here. KI0AR, KE0VH.
All right, Jack, thanks for that. Got you checked in and got a whole bunch of people checked in already. I'm on YouTube. If you want to check over there and see if my see if my stuff is coming through, that might help because I'm still trying to get used to this stuff.
Yeah, okay, I'll run over there and check in a minute. I'm about to put an airplane in the air here in the simulator, so I'll check in a minute for you, Ernest, and text you if something's wrong. K0VH.
All right, Jack, thanks for that. Let me get the net started. Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word brake for emergency or priority traffic. If there is any emergency or priority traffic, please go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu, on Wednesdays to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. Counts as part of their outreach to the general public, of which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins several ways. If you have NetLogger, you can log into NetLogger and I'll see you pop up in the AIM window, or if you're new, definitely let me know that you're checking in. I'll get you on the list. I take them over the air, of course, and I take them via email for those that might be out there listening. If you are out listening to tonight's net, send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and let me know that you are out there, your first name and the location. If you have a call sign, you include that in your email as well. So lots of ways you can get checked in. Also, I am on YouTube. I think I'm on YouTube. I think I got this thing started. So if you happen to be on YouTube, you can certainly say hi in the chat window, and we'll see what happens with that. Let me see if I can find it. Find it over there. It's still thinking. So I don't know if I'm coming over there or not. So if you happen to have YouTube and look for the Colorado Astronomy Net, you can certainly ping me. It doesn't seem like it's doing what it's supposed to do at this point. I'm not sure what's going on with this. That's what it is. It says no data, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Bernice, yeah, I'm seeing you there. I'm showing your live deal. Looks like you're wearing a gray shirt, so that'll
Okay.
confirm that. But yeah, it looks like it's working.
I'm waving at you. Am I waving at you?
Well, I'll have to let the delay getting to me here catch up. But yep, you're waving at me, so that's working. Yeah, there's what about a 20-30 second delay there tonight.
All right, Jack, I'll continue on. I'll continue on, Jack, since I know it looks like it's recording there. So right now, I'll go ahead and acknowledge those that have checked in via NetLogger. We got Dave AF0AS, thanks for checking in tonight. Moya N5ZIQ, thanks for checking in tonight. Ken NB7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. And Roy KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. Jack KE0VH, thanks for checking in tonight. And Rip K3XO, thanks for checking in tonight. I'll go ahead and begin taking check-ins over the air. Anyone wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. This is KI0AR now taking check-ins. Anyone wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Whiskey 6, Romeo Delta Zulu. Whiskey 6, Romeo Delta Zulu. November 6, Kilo Juliet Echo. November 6, Kilo Juliet Echo.
Okay, good evening to you, Ed, W6RDZ, thanks for checking in tonight, and Kyle, N6KJE, thanks for checking in tonight. I'll go ahead and get into the announcements. I'll look for check-ins a little bit later on. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of my newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list, or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the web page is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the webpage and the newsletter. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out at Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high-power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full-scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit our website at www.iaas.org for more information, or visit us on Facebook under the same name, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Also, During their meetings, they usually monitor the Skyhub Link radio system, and they have a call sign, kilowatt 0 Alpha Sierra. That's K0AAS is their call sign, and they'd love to hear someone calling during the net just to find out what they're up to. On Mondays and Wednesdays, Jack KE0VH has his twice weekly flight simulations on YouTube at 6:30 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. The Captain Jack Flight Sim, CAPNJACKFLTSIM. I've got a whole bunch of people that are interested in flight simulations, and some of us amateur radio operators on there as well that join in for those flights, and they're kind of fun to hop on there with Jack and do exactly that. And occasionally he shows the stars up in the sky, so I get to point them out for him. So if you're interested, again, on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30, check that out. And that is it for the announcements. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And we got Mick checked in, W0PKB, thanks for that. Anyone else wish to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and get into the local astronomical news. Look for check-ins a little bit later on. Start off as usual with the phases of the moon. Not much left for the moon this month, but we got a last quarter moon. We had a last quarter moon on the 20th. We got a new moon coming up on the 22nd. The moon was at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month, back on the 13th. It was 252,460 miles from Earth. The moon will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth this month, on the 27th. It will be 221,903 miles from Earth. Planetary highlights for April. The planets offer exciting views in April. Jupiter is a brilliant object in the evening sky, although the observation window narrows as the sun sets later each day. Mars is past its best, but remains bright and high in the sky. Mercury, Venus, and Saturn make an early morning appearance before sunrise. And a special treat is the annual Lyrid meteor shower, which peaks in the month's third week. Excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, April 2025, page 28. On with the individual planets. Mercury was at its greatest western elongation, about 27 degrees west of the sun, back on the 21st. It means it's actually leading the sun in the early morning hours. Mercury is now rising about 6:15 a.m. This week. Mercury is visible, at 5:15 a.m. this week. Mercury is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 0.1 on the 30th. Mercury is visible about 30 minutes before sunrise, just above the eastern horizon. A quick tutorial on magnitudes after I let this thing reset. right. Magnitudes. The magnitude is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning that as the magnitudes increase, the apparent brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. The dimmest object that the human eye can see under optimum conditions, under optimum dark sky conditions that is about 6th magnitude. So a magnitude 5 object is 2.5 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object, while a magnitude 7 object is 2.5 times dimmer than a magnitude 6 object. And obviously you will need binoculars or a telescope to see anything greater than 6 magnitude. Actually point those telescopes and binoculars at anything up at the sky other than the sun, unless of course it's properly filtered for taking a view. Continuing, we got Venus will be at greatest brilliancy, or magnitude minus 4.8 on the 27th. Venus is rising about 4:30 a.m. this week. Look for Venus about 30 minutes before sunrise. Venus is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude minus 4.7 on the 30th. We got Mars. Mars is setting about 2:30 a.m. This week. Look for Mars to the south-southwest in the evening. Mars is in the constellation, moves from the constellation of Gemini into Cancer, shining at magnitude 0.7. Then we have Jupiter setting around 11:30 p.m. this week. Jupiter is easy to spot to the southwest in the evening sky. Jupiter is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude minus 2.0. And we have Saturn rising just a few minutes before 5 a.m. This week. Look for Saturn very low to the east before sunrise. Saturn moves from the constellation of Aquarius into Pisces, shining at magnitude 1.0. And then we got Uranus is setting about 9:30 p.m. This week. Look for Uranus to the southwest soon after sunset. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.8. Then we got Neptune. Neptune, another morning object, rising about 5 a.m. this week. Look for Neptune to the east, following Saturn by just a few minutes all month. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.8. And then we have Ceres. Ceres, also a morning object, rising about 5:15 a.m. this week. Ceres is lost in the morning twilight glow until the end of the month. Ceres is in the constellation of Aquarius, shining at magnitude 9.3. And finally, we have Pluto, rising about 2:45 a.m. this week. Pluto can be spotted before sunrise to the east. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at magnitude 15.3. As always, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. And by a large telescope for Pluto, I mean like a 12 to 15 inch diameter mirror for that one. You'll definitely need some very, very dark skies to spot that. And maybe the end of next week, beginning of the following week, or the end of this week, beginning next week, you might be able to see it if you've got some very, very dark skies. Definitely get away from those cities. Another little tidbit, I'm going to try this. Those of you who have a YouTube, you'll have to let me know how this shows up. On the morning of the 25th, a very, very thin sliver. I'm getting too close to a timeout here, so just a second. Okay, as I was saying, on the morning of the 25th, a very, very thin sliver of a moon will be towards the east. And it makes a kind of a large happy face with Venus and Saturn. I just posted an image from or my the sky. Let's see if I can make that any bigger. Doesn't look like it right now. The sky software that I used, you'll see a dark moon. And if you look closely, you'll see Venus and Saturn, kind of the two eyes of a very elongated smiley face. Actually, the moon passes right between those two planets within the 24-hour period of the 24th to the 25th. Here in Denver, you're not going to see them all that closely, but other parts of the world may see a nice smiley face there with Saturn, Venus, and a very thin crescent moon. And those of you who do have YouTube, you may want to let me know how that shows up. I'd certainly appreciate comments on that. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net continuing. All right, we're right at smack dab in the middle of the Lyrids meteor showers. The skies will be dark for the annual Lyrid meteors, which are active from April 14th to 30th. On the day of the peak, April 22nd, that was this morning actually, there's a waning crescent moon that doesn't rise until nearly 4 a.m. The radiant of the shower near Vega and Lyra the Lyre is already 30 degrees high by midnight, offering many hours to catch the fleeting meteors as they skip into Earth's atmosphere and burn up. An older meteor shower, the Lyrids are associated with the 416-year orbit of Comet C 1861 G1, Thatcher. Its debris has spread out with time, reducing the hourly rate to modest amounts. The Lyrids are expected to produce about 20 meteors per hour once the radiant is nearly overhead, which occurs in the hour before dawn. Expect lower rates in the earlier morning hours. Excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, April 2025, page 29. Comets. Comet 29P Watchman is in the constellation of Leo this month, shining around 11th magnitude. An 8-inch telescope or better will be needed to spot this elusive object. And that is it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right, I'll go ahead and pause here to see if there are any more check-ins before we get into the bulletins for this evening. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
November 9, LQV. King Charles 8, 5. That's Victor.
Okay, November 9 station, you got doubled with there a little bit. I got the November 9. If you could come back with the rest of your call, sir, I'd appreciate it. So give me your call again phonetically twice, please, sir. And the November 9 station, go ahead.
Why, certainly. It's November 9 and the Papa Golf Echo.
Okay, Mick, we got you on the list. N9PGE, thanks for checking in tonight. And Mark, KC8FQV, yeah, you kind of won that double, Mark. Thanks for checking in tonight. And Frank, KF0SZC, thanks for checking in tonight. Appreciate that, guys. Oh, let's see. Bulletins for this evening. Yeah, let's see what we got. I know I got it somewhere here. Where did it go? There we go. There we go. Okay. Just looking at the different pages I got up. All right. This bulletin is from NASA, dated April 15th. NASA aims to fly first quantum sensor for gravity measurements. I always like quantum stuff. That's kind of neat stuff that they're playing with. This mission will pave the way for groundbreaking observations from everything from petroleum reserves to global supplies of fresh water. Researchers from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California, private companies, and academic institutions are developing the first space-based quantum sensor for measuring gravity. Supported by NASA's Earth Science Technology Office, or ESTO, the mission will mark a first for quantum sensing and will pave the way for groundbreaking observations of everything from petroleum reserves to global supplies of fresh water. Earth's gravitational field is dynamic, changing each day as geologic processes redistribute mass across our planet's surface. The greater the mass, the greater the gravity. You wouldn't notice these subtle changes in gravity as you go about your day, but with sensitive tools called gravity gradiometers, scientists can map the nuances of Earth's gravitational field and correlate them to subterranean features like aquifers and mineral deposits. These gravity maps are essential for navigation, resource management, and national security. We could determine the mass of the Himalayas using atoms, said Jason Hyon, Chief Technologist for Earth Science at JPL and Director of JPL's Quantum Space Innovation Center. Hyon and colleagues laid out the concepts behind their Quantum Gravity Gradiometer Pathfinder, or QGGPF, instrument in a recent paper in the EPJ Quantum Technology. Gravity gradiometers track how fast an object in one location falls compared to an object falling just a short distance away. The difference in acceleration between these two free-falling objects, also known as test masses, corresponds to differences in gravitational strength. Test masses fall faster where gravity is stronger. QGGPF will use two clouds of ultra-cold rubidium atoms as test masses. Cooled to a temperature near absolute zero, the particles in these clouds behave like waves. The quantum gravity gradiometer will measure the difference in acceleration between these matter waves to locate gravitational anomalies. Using clouds of ultra-cold atoms as test masses is ideal for ensuring that space-based gravity measurements remain accurate over long periods of time, explained Xingwei Qiao, an experimental physicist at JPL. With atoms, I can guarantee that every measurement will be the same. We are less sensitive to environmental effects. Using atoms as test masses also makes it possible to measure gravity with a compact instrument aboard a single spacecraft. QGGPF will be around 0.3 cubic yards, or 0.25 cubic meters in volume, and weigh only 270 pounds, 75 pounds, or 125 kilograms. smaller and lighter than traditional space-based gravity instruments. Quantum sensors also have the potential for increased sensitivity. By some estimates, a science-grade quantum gravity gradiometer instrument could be as much as 10 times more sensitive at measuring gravity than classical sensors. The main purpose of this technology validation mission, scheduled to launch near the end of the decade, will be to test a collection of novel technologies for manipulating interactions between light and matter at the atomic scale. No one has tried to fly one of these instruments yet, said Ben Stray, a postdoctoral researcher at JPL. We need to fly it so that we can figure out how well it will operate, and that will allow us to not only advance the quantum gravity gradiometer, but also quantum technology in general. This technology development project involves significant collaborations between NASA and small businesses. The team at JPL is working with AOSense and Inflection to advance the sensor head technology, while NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland is working with Vector Atomic to advance the laser optical system. Ultimately, the innovations achieved during this Pathfinder mission could enhance our ability to study Earth and our ability to understand distant planets and the role gravity plays in shaping the cosmos. The QGGPF instrument will lead the planetary science applications and fundamental physics applications, says Hyon. To learn more about ESTO, visit https://esto.nasa.gov. And that's it for that bulletin for this evening. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay. I didn't, I'll let this thing reset and get into something new here. All right, I usually start with ISS passes, but I'm going to end up with ISS passes for this evening. I always talk about this website, www.heavens-above.com. And tonight, I posted that particular website on YouTube, and I'll show you what I like about this time, as well as tell you about it. But let's see, there are not too many passes coming up. They're all AM passes, all very, very short passes, not much anything longer than about 2 to 2.5 minutes coming up in the next 10 days or so. The longest actually occurs on the morning of April 24th, and I'm going to pull that one up as well in NetLogger. I'll tell you about it first. That's at 4:15 a.m., 4:15:38. The ISS travels from 45 degrees northwest down to 10 degrees northeast. It starts at its peak and descends rapidly towards the northeast horizon. Very shallow, very short thing, just a little bit over 2 minutes. Actually, just a little bit over 3 minutes there. I'll pull up that image on YouTube right now, and you'll see what I mean. It gives you a nice big picture of the path of the ISS, and it gives you a nice star chart that you can print out on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that you can talk. And it's got the times and marks through what constellations it's going through, so you have a better idea of where it's going, as opposed to just giving you the the directions from which it's coming from over the air here. So if you want to check that out, definitely avail yourself of that website. Again, heavens-above.com. I do recommend that you sign up for it and log in, enter in your home coordinates so you can get more accurate timings for these ISS passes. And that's it for the bulletins for this evening. This is KI0AR. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to call on Ed, W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. Are you able to give the rocket report this evening, Ed? Go ahead.
Oh, good evening, bonus. This is W6RDZ, Rocket Man. No, I'm in the ambulance in traffic down in Colorado Springs, so I'm going to have to pass the night. Over to you.
All right, Ed. Understand. Understand totally. Yeah, I'm ready to do the rocket launch there. And if you do check out Facebook, I do have several links on there, including links to the rocket report as well. And here's the rocket report for what is today? April 22nd. This rocket report covers April 15th through 29th. Last week's launches, just 5 launches this week again. This week began with a continuation of the lull in the worldwide launch cadence, but ended with SpaceX picking up the pace, 4 U.S. and 1 Chinese launch. The U.S. Minotaur launch vehicle is still around. NROL-174 successfully launched Wednesday, April 16th at 13:33 Mountain Daylight Time on a Northrop Minotaur 4 rocket from Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. This is a classified mission for the National Reconnaissance Office. It was the 6th flight of the Minotaur, but the first in 5 years, and the first from Vandenberg in 14 years. That was 2011. The Minotaur is a 4-stage, solid-fueled launch vehicle derived in part from decommissioned Peacekeeper intercontinental ballistic missiles. The first 3 stages are government-furnished Peacekeeper solid rocket motors, while the upper stage is a commercial Orion solid motor built by Northrop Grumman. Friday, let's see, that was last Friday. The 17th, oh no, yeah, the 18th, excuse me, Friday the 18th, China launched the Xi'an 2701-06 mission on a Long March 6A rocket from the Taiwan Launch Center, China. The mission launched 6 satellites to sun-synchronous orbit, reported to be for environmental probing and other related technological testing. Sunday morning, April 19th, SpaceX launched the NROL-145 mission from Vandenberg. This is a 10th batch of Starshield reconnaissance satellites built by SpaceX and Northrop Grumman. Booster 1082 flew for the 12th time. This was SpaceX's 44th mission of 2024 or 2025 and the 80th orbital launch worldwide. It was the 3rd NRL mission to launch in 8 days. Yesterday morning, SpaceX launched an ISS cargo resupply mission, CRS SPX-32, Monday, April 21st at 02:15 Mountain Daylight Time in a cargo Dragon resupply capsule atop a Falcon 9 rocket from Kennedy Space Center, Florida. Dragon capsule C209 flew for the 5th time, and it was Booster 1092's 3rd flight. It was a beautiful early morning Florida launch. And later yesterday, SpaceX launched the Bandwagon 3 mission on a Falcon 9 out of Cape Canaveral, Florida. Bandwagon is a dedicated small satellite rideshare mission to mid-latitude low Earth orbit. This can cost as little as $300,000 per payload, which includes up to 50 kilograms of payload mass. Upcoming launches for next week. 5 launches next week. A Chinese manned flight, 2 SpaceX, 1 Firefly, and 1 ULA. Thursday, April 24th at 03:17 Mountain Daylight Time, China is scheduled to launch the Shenzhou 20 mission on a Long March 2G/F, 2F/G rocket from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center, China. This is the 15th Chinese crewed mission and the 9th launch to take Chinese astronauts to the Chinese space station. The crew they relieved, the returning Shenzhou 19 taikonauts, are scheduled to land April 29th at 0004 in the desert near Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center after spending 6 months in space aboard the Chinese space station. Later Thursday, SpaceX is planning to launch Starlink Group 6-74 on a Falcon 9 from Cape Canaveral. Friday, April 25th, SpaceX is scheduled to launch Starlink Group 11-9 on a Falcon 9 from Vandenberg Space Force Base. Sunday, April 27th at 13:33 Mountain Daylight Time, Firefly Aerospace will try yet again to launch their Alpha rocket from Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. This after scrubbing the launch late last month for an unspecified range conflict, then postponing a rescheduled launch a few days later, and rescheduling last week's launch on board the Alpha rocket is the Message in a Booster Mission, or LM400 demo, the first of up to 25 launches of LEO demonstrator satellites to be built and operated by Lockheed Martin. This is a demonstration mission for Lockheed Martin LM400 satellite bus, which will carry a communications satellite. It will be the 6th flight of the Firefly Alpha. Monday, April 28th at 1700 Mountain Daylight Time, ULA plans to launch an Atlas V 551 from Cape Canaveral, Florida. The old Atlas V will be carrying Project Kuiper KA-01 with 27 satellites to LEO for the Kuiper Systems, Amazon's mega constellation of high-speed internet satellites. It's scrubbed for weather on April 9th. No word on why it has been mysteriously delayed for 10 days. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net continuing. Also in space news this week, Marcia Smith of SpacePolicyOnline.com reports NASA astronaut Don Pettit and 2 Russian crewmates landed in Kazakhstan this Saturday evening, April 19th, which was April 20th local time at the landing site. Time zone difference is important because April 20th is Pettit's 70th birthday. NASA's oldest active astronaut, he spent 220 days aboard the International Space Station and now has accumulated 590 days in space over 4 flights. Pettit appeared weaker than his crewmates after he was extracted from the Soyuz capsule, but NASA reports he is doing well and in the range of what is expected for him. Update, April 20th, Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield posted a photo of Pettit on X, showing him smiling and giving a thumbs up. Pettit and his Soyuz MS-26 crewmates Alexei Ovchinin and Ivan Wagner landed at 9:20 p.m. April 19th Eastern Daylight Time, which was 6:20 a.m. April 20th at the landing site. Typically, Russian video shows each crew member being extracted from the Soyuz capsule and carried several feet to chairs where they are met by medical staff for immediate health checks. After several minutes, where they are shown smiling and talking with colleagues, they are carried to a nearby medical tent for additional checks before they board helicopters to begin their return trips home. That was true today for Ovchinin and Wagner, but Pettit was shown only being carried out of the capsule to a chair. He pushed up his helmet's visor by himself, but appeared weaker than his crewmates. Anatoly Zak of RussianSpaceweb.com tweeted that Russian commentary indicated Pettit was in a bad shape, and the cameraman was instructed to avoid showing him. Pettit is not the oldest person to fly in space, but he is the oldest to remain in space for such a long time, 7 months. In a post-landing press release, NASA said NASA is following its routine post-landing medical checks. The crew will return to the recovery staging area in Karaganda, Kazakhstan. Pettit will then board a NASA plane bound for the agency's Johnson Space Center in Houston. According to NASA officials at the landing site, Pettit is doing well and is in the range of what is expected for him following return to Earth. Pettit is an avid photographer. Check his astrophotos from the ISS. There's a link in the Rocket Report PDF that's on the website. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net continuing. NASA's Lucy spacecraft encountered asteroid Donald Johanson en route to the Jupiter Trojan asteroids and sent back high-resolution pictures. Lucy launched from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Florida, on an Atlas V 401 rocket on October 16, 2021. Since then, it has flown by Earth twice to gain slingshot gravitational velocity to go to the Lagrange 3 point in Jupiter's orbit. This is the second main belt asteroid it has photographed as practice for the Jupiter asteroids. In Lucy's 12-year mission, the first encounter with Jupiter's Trojans will be in 2027-2028. NASA's Lucy spacecraft images asteroid Donald Johanson. This is by Catherine Kretke. The Southwest Research Institute reports it is the second asteroid encounter. NASA's Lucy spacecraft obtained a close look at a uniquely shaped fragment of an asteroid that formed about 150 million years ago. The spacecraft has begun returning images that were collected as it flew approximately 600 miles or 960 kilometers from the asteroid Donald Johanson on April 20th, 2025. The asteroid was previously observed to have large brightness variations over a 10-day period, so some of Lucy team members' expectations were confirmed when the first images showed what appeared to be an elongated contact binary, an object formed when two smaller bodies collide. However, the team was surprised by the odd shape of the narrow neck connecting the two lobes, which looks like two nested ice cream cones. Asteroid Donald Johanson has strikingly complicated geology, says Hal Levison, principal investigator for Lucy at Southwest Research Institute, Boulder, Colorado. As we study the complex structures in detail, they will reveal important information about the building blocks and collision processes that formed the planets in our solar system. Like Lucy's first asteroid flyby target, Dinkinesh, Donald Johanson is not a primary science target of the Lucy mission. As planned, the Dinkinesh flyby was a systems test for the mission, while this encounter was a full dress rehearsal, in which the team conducted a series of dense observations to maximize data collection. Data collected by Lucy's other scientific instruments, the L. Ralph color imager, an infrared spectrometer, and the L-TESS thermal infrared spectrometer, will be retrieved and analyzed over the next few weeks. The Lucy spacecraft will spend most of the remainder of 2025 traveling through the main asteroid belt. Lucy will encounter the mission's first main target, the Jupiter Trojan asteroid Eurybates, in August 2027. These early images of Donald Johanson are again showing the tremendous capabilities of the Lucy spacecraft as an engine of discovery, said Tom Statler, program scientist for the Lucy mission at NASA headquarters in Washington. The potential for to really open a new window into the history of our solar system when Lucy gets to the Trojan asteroids is immense. That's it for tonight's Rocket Report. Rocket Man Ed, W6RDZ, wishes you a good night and nominal flight. Now back to Starman Burnus, KI0AR, net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And that's it for the Rocket Report for this evening. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and pause here for more check-ins. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo Delta Zero, Uniform Kilo Romeo. Kilo Delta Zero, Uniform Kilo Romeo. Name is Brandy. Getting out tonight. Kilo 7, Mike Marina, India. Kilo 7, Mike Marina, India. November Tango 9 Alpha. November Tango 9 Alpha. Patrick in Madison, Wisconsin. Evening, Burnus. I'm in and out tonight. Kilo Juliet 7, Quebec, Foxtrot. Kilo Juliet 7, Quebec, Foxtrot. West Coast, Florida. N7 AFJ. N7 Alpha Foxtrot.
Okay, nice little flurry of check-ins, so do appreciate that. Brandy, I got you on the list. KD0UKR, thanks for checking in tonight. I got you in and out. Vic, I got you on the list. K7MLI, thanks for checking in tonight. Patrick, NT9A, thanks for checking in tonight. Susan, KJ7QGF, thanks for checking in tonight. Dale, N7AFJ, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see. I don't think anybody is new there. let's see. Yep, I think I got everybody. All right, let's see. Now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net tonight. Questions, comments. Let's see. Questions, comments, observation reports. Anything you'd like to pass along to the net? Now's the time to do it. First on the list tonight is Dave up in Evergreen, AF0AS. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Not much tonight. Things are pretty quiet. Just a quick update. There was a photo of Anthony posted today. He's back in the U.S. and he left the NASA business jet on his own power, walking, smiling, and going down the air stairs just fine. I'd like to thank you for listening to F0 AS. Back to the net.
All right, Dave, thanks for that update. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Moya down in Texas, N5ZIQ. Good evening to you, Moya. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Bruce. How are you tonight? Your time at the ZIQ way down here in Houston. So we're waiting for some showers to come around tomorrow again down here. So maybe if you have you're in the Houston area tonight, there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for living, but the Mars is visible, and that is right at the planet line. Planet line, and it's right near the top. So that's the only possibility right now. Jupiter is about to set into the west. We'll probably won't have a lot of opportunity for that. And we are still just about missing all the light now. So that's just about it for here. But anyway, that's about all we got down here in Houston. Y'all have a good evening. Mr. Bruce, back to you in 5 for the ZIQ boy down here in Houston. See you later.
All right, Moy. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, we got cloudy skies today too, so won't be seeing much. At least the temperature's nice. We had some snow over the weekend, which was nice, and then it warmed up real quick, and snow melted and gave our grass a little bit of needed moisture, but don't look like we're going to get too much moisture. Just cloudy skies for for several days here, so I think definitely can relate. All right, Moy, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Ken out in Nevada. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight?
Good evening there, Vernon. B7SS here in Indian Springs, Nevada, where the weather has been fantastic. Except for today, it's cloudy out there. But I tell you, I don't have a telescope or anything, but there's
Okay, Ken, appreciate that. It's nice to have some feedback on the YouTube channel as well. So I learned how to do a decent background and not too exciting right now, but got a decent background. That globular cluster that you see on YouTube is M10. I took that back in 1999 using the telescope down at Kitt Peak. So I thought that would be, it looks kind of neat. I always liked globular clusters and what they look like. So this is M10. Uh, let's see, what is it? 15,000 light years away, 16,000 light years away from us. So relatively close. But yeah, I've always liked those things. So hopefully that spices it up rather than just seeing me and the background basement here. I'll have to see if I can figure out a background for that. But Ken, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Roy up in Oregon, KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. Hey, we've got a clear night tonight, so I'm going to be shutting up the telescope here in a little bit. Happy to say that we not only got the focus for motor last week, drivers and all, but autofocus focus works too. So that's just a huge step forward. Now at this point, with all of that working, yeah, still got a couple of people working yet, but now we can set the telescope up, plug in the cables, turn it on, and go inside and do all the setup. Other than tolerate the actual, aligning the polar axis. But we've already done that tonight before. We can just come inside, do all of our setup, and run everything from inside, just like a smart telescope. That's pretty cool. Anyway, looking forward to hopefully, now our setup is going to break and go wrong all at the same time. Welcome to amateur astronomy. Anyway, we're going to try an image F51 tonight if we possibly can. Anyway, first, back to you, and thanks a lot for doing the net. Catch up for you.
All right, Roy. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Definitely appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah, you get to stay inside and do that and stay warm. Well, it's probably still a little chilly up there. Yeah, always an experiment, both amateur astronomy as well as amateur radio. Well, I think we all love experimenting a little bit there. All right, Roy, appreciate everything you do for the net too. Let's see. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Jack out in Wheat Ridge, KE0VH. Good evening to you, Jack. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, Marcus, good evening. Good evening around the net. Thanks, everybody, for being a part of Skyhub Link. We've added a couple of other new repeaters. The one in Estes Park, the Akron machine is now reconnected thanks to our good internet providing partners, and we really appreciate them helping us out with that. And let's see. Bernard's learning to fly the CRJ series of aircraft, the Bombardier CRJ. So I'm going to have a new aircraft in the fleet to be able to do some flight sim stuff with. And tomorrow night, I don't know where I'm going to be flying. I'm thinking about doing the CRJ here because I'm starting to get the hang of it, but we'll see. Really enjoyed the flight last night in the 737-700 from Birmingham to San Antonio on the live stream, and you guys can see the replays of that too on my channel. So if you get a chance, drop in there and take a look at those. But anyway, Burgess, thanks a lot. Yeah, we'll have to try to do some night flying too and see some stars as seen from 32,000 feet or whatever the case may be. Burgess, thanks a lot. Great net tonight, and everything's looking good on YouTube. Good evening. This is KE0VH in Wheat Ridge. 7:30.
right, Jack. Yeah, you betcha. Yeah, it was fun times last night. Do appreciate that. I get to work on a few things while you're flying there, so that helps out. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Rip out in West Virginia, K3XO. Good evening to you, Rip. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Right? And as always, always interested to find out what's up there that might be visible. And the weather's getting a little warmer now. I just might start thinking about dragging the telescope out and pointing it up there if we get a good clear night. So anyway, thank you for doing that. Interesting as always. Back to you, K3XO.
All right, Rip. Yeah, hopefully you get out there as well. Got some observations. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Ed, out there mobile, ambulance mobile, W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Brad. Good evening to the net. Uh, again, really don't have anything else for you. Thanks for delivering the rocket report. Beautifully as always. Thanks for the opportunity to contribute here. And thanks, Dave, especially for that update on our astronaut. So good to hear he's doing okay and back in Houston. All right, W6RD said back to net control.
All right, Ed. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight as well. For sure. Yeah, I do appreciate Dave's backup as well. Moy, I just saw you subscribe to the channel, so thanks for that. Let's see. Next on the list is Kyle up in Oregon, N6KJE. Good evening to you, Kyle. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Curtis, and good evening, Ned. Not a whole lot for me. Currently driving local for Redding, California, on my way to pick up a transmitter out of Sacramento. So looking like it's going to be all right. Watch night tonight. Some clouds, looks like some thunderstorms rolling in over the Sierras. But other than that, 80 degrees. So looking like it could be a good night to get out there, set up a telescope for those that would want to out here. I'll send it back to you, Bernis, and 6KG.
All right, Kyle. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight, and definitely drive safe out there. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Mick out in Loveland. Up in Loveland there. W0PKB. Good evening to you, Mick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. I didn't know if that was you or not, Mick. I didn't hear you on Wires X. I did hear a ping over on the other channel. We'll try that again. W0PKB, Mick, what have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. All right, nothing heard. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Graham out in Scotland, MM1DEA. Good evening to you, Graham. Let's see. I know you were over on YouTube, so thanks for that. If you've got anything you'd like to pass along to the net, go ahead, Graham. All right, Graham, I do appreciate you checking in and listening over on and contributing. Actually, you were commenting over on the YouTube channel, so thanks for that. Let's see. Next on the list is Mick Elton, Indiana, N9PGE. Good evening to you, Mick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Mark out in Ohio, KC8FQV. Good evening to you, Mark. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Frank up in Minnesota, KF0SZC. Good evening to you, Frank. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, Brandy KD0UKR checked in and out. So go to Victor down in Arizona, K7MLI. Good evening to you, Vic. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
So, but I think I'll have to wait article about disappearing stars, and nobody knows exactly why. They're confused and turning the black holes. I'm just kind of interested in a little more info on that. Anyway, K7 MLI.
Oh, let's see. Disappearing stars. I guess that could be for lots of reasons. Um, oh, well, as we know, uh, some stars are disappearing because they're getting eaten up by others, um, or just running out of juice. Let's see, maybe they're getting eclipsed by other larger gaseous clouds or something like that. Gosh, there's tons of reasons they may be disappearing, or speculations that we can think of, um, that why they might be disappearing, or um, maybe it's like, or what is it? T. Corbor, T. Corona Borealis, which you can't see with the naked eye right now, but you might be able to see when it does get brighter eventually. It's sucking off material from its companion star and should go nova. We may be seeing some of those nova stars every now and then they disappear again from visual view anyway. Maybe these stars, even dimmer than that, are doing something similar to that, or what have you, Vic. I'm not sure. That's a good question. No straight answer for that, Vic.
K7 MLI. Thanks for the info. That's a lot more than I know now than I did a couple minutes ago. K7 MLI.
All right, Vic. Yeah, that's pure speculation on my part. But yeah, they do. I don't know if they really disappear or just we just can't see them for one reason or another. You might want to think about, let's see, if we were further out than Jupiter, but not by much, our sun would definitely disappear behind Jupiter, and you might not be able to see it. And if Jupiter wasn't a bright object like it is on the dark side, the star would get eclipsed. If there's a bigger dark star between us and something we can see, um, that could be a possible reason as well. So, uh, lots of different reasons as why stars might disappear. They just might burn out, and we just don't notice it until now, because they're always doing that. As they get older, they'll fade from view, or they've been fading over the years, and eventually just we just happen to be at the point in their lifetime when we do see them flicker out. The older stars, the white dwarfs, things like that, that just or the brown dwarfs, they just go, lose all their energy and go dark in our lifetime. So that's also a possibility. All right, Vic, appreciate the question. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Patrick NT9A checked in and out. So we'll go to Susan, KJ7 QGF. Good evening to you, Susan, down in Arizona as well. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
You know, City at 7 for Best Film Foxtrot. Good evening, Ernest. We just enjoyed the rocket report, and I honestly don't know how those people that go up into space tolerate it. I can't even tolerate the mountain roads of Denver. Anyway, I I thought that was amazing. I do think it's amazing whenever I hear people going up into space. And we've had very beautiful days. We've been able to locate stars and everything very readily. Especially, we had 2 rainy days, our token 2 rainy days for the season. We probably won't get much rain until the fall now, but we saw some beautiful skies. Anyway, really thanks for the report tonight, and this is Sheila Juliet 7 for West South Foxtrot.
All right, Susan. Yeah, appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah, we're jealous of those dark skies you got down there, for sure. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, training, 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 and more training in all kinds of situations, for sure. There, Susan. That's what the astronauts go through, and you know, just training, 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 and more training, and getting used to weightlessness when they do the vomit comet. Training in that 30 seconds of weightlessness as a plane kind of goes over it, and you know, they just get used to it. I think every one of them, the vomit comet is right aptly named for what happens initially. You know, I've experienced some negative G's before, and it's rather interesting sensation, for sure there, Susan. Um, but nothing like the astronauts do when they're up there for 7 months, for sure. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight, Susan. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Dale up in Washington. N7AFJ. Good evening to you, Dale. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Ernest. Nothing to contribute this evening. However, thank you for checking in. N7AFJ.
All right, Dale, no worries. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list, we'll see if he's on the air. Mike checked in via YouTube, KO5AOK. Good evening to you, Mike, out in Oklahoma. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. All right, yeah, we got Mike's comment. He says he's glad that the Colorado Astronomy Net is now on YouTube, so thanks for that. All right, appreciate the comment. Appreciate you checking in tonight, Mike. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Kind of a short list today. So I will go ahead and let's see, we are at the bottom of the list now. Don't see any new check-ins. Nope, don't see any new check-ins over on NetLogger. So I'll go ahead and open up the net. Anybody else with any questions, comments, late check-ins? If you are a late check-in, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. So questions, comments, late check-ins, please call KI0AR now. Okay, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Again, anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins before I go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening, please call KI0AR now.
NV7SS, Ernest, just a quick comment.
NV7SS, Ken, go ahead.
Yeah, Ernest, NV7SS here. I just wanted to comment there. I'm looking at NetLogger, and I just believe this is the first time you have not had a new check-in. I don't ever remember you not having a new check-in there. Strange. And tonight's the first night I've used Wires X mode to talk to you. And I was just curious how my signal is with you there, Ernest. Back to you.
Yeah, Ken, I was wondering about that too. I think everybody's become regulars now. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't had any new calls this time, and some of the regular calls we've missed. I wonder if we're missing some of the connections or something, what have you. We got some other calls that usually check in that haven't tonight, so don't know if we're connected to some of the other nets that or the other systems, like Dewdrop In and some of the other ones that check in. But yeah, 19 check-ins so far. It's not too bad. You're sounding great on Wires X. No problems whatsoever, Ken. And yeah, if you want, fast forward through an hour and a half of the net or whatever on YouTube, the recording will be up in a little bit. I'll probably see if I need to edit it or anything and do all the tags and stuff like that. But yeah, check out it'll be saved on YouTube, so you can check that out and see how you sound, see if it sounds all right. Right now it's just going from my radio to the audio, the audio pickup on the computer. And it's definitely not overmodulated or anything like that, but you're definitely solid. Solid signal tonight, Ken, for sure.
Okay, thank you, Ernest. I was just wondering how good it was coming through Wires X for the first time. And thanks a lot for being there. And like I say, your YouTube is getting better all the time. And I signed up as a member or whatever you want to call it for your YouTube channel. And hopefully we'll get some updates all the time. Thanks a lot, Ernest. I'll see you next week. KI0AR NV7SS. 7:30 Ernest, and like I say, a fantastic job tonight.
All right. right, Ken. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the views and things like that I get. I guess they'll grow eventually. I guess I'll have to plug the Colorado Astronomy Net. Anybody else, they can do the same as well. And plug the Colorado Astronomy Net on YouTube or wherever you want to as well. So that would be appreciated. I'll do the same on all of my stuff too. So hopefully we'll see what happens with the YouTube channel there. I think it's a good way. You can always and people can do what you're doing there, Ken, is commenting here, and it gets recorded on YouTube. Then you can play it back and see how you sound, see if it sounds good. I already had a couple of guys from last week use the recording as feedback to their transmissions, and so they appreciated that and actually toned some of their things down a little bit. So kind of inadvertent advantage of doing this is seeing what you sound like over the radio. So there you go. All right, Ken, definitely appreciate your comments there. Let's see. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right. Again, anybody else? We got plenty of time. Questions, comments, late check-ins, please call KI0AR now.
Hi, Bernice, and 73, everybody on the net. This is Alpha Bravo 3, Romeo Victor. That's AB3RV. I'm back. I'm in South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'll be in and out.
Gosh, Mac, that's too quick. That's too quick for being in and out, because you're last on the list and you're right. You're first. I ran out of stuff to talk about. So if you got anything, it's your turn. Go ahead, please.
Nothing much to say. Yeah, once again, I'm tuning in late. I just got in here, so I pretty much missed the net. But yeah, nothing much. Just look to gaze out at the sky every night before I go to bed about 4 a.m. Now that I have stellarium, I can tell which stars I see. But because I'm in the city, I don't see very much. So yeah, maybe the only star I can see at bedtime is Arcturus. But yeah, as things move, as the seasons progress, I'll see more. Yeah, nothing much other than that. But once again, thanks for hosting the net. I'm sorry I missed it. But 73 to you and everybody else on the net. Moving through IV, back to net control.
All right, AB3RV, Mac. This is KI0AR. Yeah, Mac, I have the recording on YouTube. So if you want to go back and listen to the net, yeah, please do. You can catch up on what we talked about. I got last week's net. I will have this week's net as well on YouTube, the Colorado Astronomy Net, easy enough to find. So even if you miss it and check in late, you can still watch the replay of that for sure there, Mac. So I do appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and close the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the 20 check-ins for checking in tonight. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater systems. Also like to thank the Skyhub Link group, skyhublink.com, for the use of all of their systems and how they get into, we can get into the systems and do this net. So I do appreciate that. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.